Hey, welcome back to Digital Learning. Again, I'm Connie Kolosey, the Director of Media, Text, and Digital Learning, and I'm talking here today with Kevin Haugabrook and Alex Heeren.
Hi.
And these two gentlemen work with me in the Digital Learning Department, and they have been out and busy working in schools with teachers and staying on the cutting edge of technology for Pinellas County Schools. And so we're just picking their brain a little bit about what they've learned and how they can help. So we talked quite a bit about Office 365, and you guys have really kind of become the district experts in although there's some people giving you a run for your money.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's
There's
great.
Some teachers who are jumping right in. It's awesome.
Yeah. They kind of like light a fire and the fire is spreading.
Yes.
So, but for people that might not be as familiar, you mentioned a couple of times staff notebook, class notebook, and I was hoping maybe you could pull up some examples so that we could see what it is you're talking about.
Sure. So I'll pull up my account. I've already logged in here to my Office 365.
So let's just
account.
give everybody a little bit, if in case they're not familiar, I want to touch on a couple things that are here on the screen. So what do we call this screen?
This is the app launcher.
App launcher.
So,
I was looking for waffle.
Oh, the waffle is this one
It's
right
up in
here.
the corner there.
Because this looks like a waffle.
Because
This
it
is
looks like a waffle
here.
and it has all the apps on it.
Yep. And
Okay.
you can drag these around, put them. If you're going to use certain things, you can hide them. If you know.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Okay.
So that's the waffle.
Yep.
So here we have all the various apps that are available in Office 365, and of course Office 365 can be accessed a couple of ways. An easy way is o365.pcsb.org.
Yeah. O is in Office, not the number 0.
Not the number 0. That's critical. All right. So when you pull that up, then
Real fast, another way I've talked to a lot of teachers who maybe can't remember what that is there's also a link in Focus.
Oh,
so
excellent.
teachers can get that through Focus too if
Okay.
they can't remember the link.
And if it's not there yet, there's going to be a link in Clever, and so
Great.
that's
Yeah.
coming as well. All right. So the other thing I want to mention, I see this Install Office 2016 up here in the corner. Let's talk about that little thing right
Yeah, let's talk about that little thing right there. So we're all on. We're in Chrome. We're in a web browser right now. We're online. What that's saying is, hey, wouldn't it be great if you installed the desktop version of Office 2016, which is what everyone's used to using, they've been using it forever, which sounds great. And it is great, but not on your work computer. On your work computer, we have to go through your school tech to have it installed. If you don't install it the right way, there's some weird things and it'll break Office. What's cool about it, though, is this can be used on your home machines.
Oh.
If I go into Best Buy today and I try and buy Office, it's going to cost me $150, right? I can go on up to 5 personal computers, and I can install the entire Office 2016, the latest and greatest from Microsoft, for free.
Okay.
free.
So you, as a Pinellas County employee, can do that. Who else?
Any student, anybody
Students.
with a PCSB login has access to this.
Wow.
So all students, there's no excuse for, if I have a computer at home but I don't have Office, now you can download it at home and work on your projects.
And devices.
Yeah, well, the apps for Android and iOS, those are free. Those don't even use one of these licenses.
Oh, okay.
So I can go in the App Store right now and download Word, PowerPoint, Class Notebook, or just OneNote would be what you would download. But all of those apps, OneDrive, they're all free. They're all in the App Store.
Any student, any employee on their personal machines can download up to 5 instances of Office 16. But if you're on your district machine, please don't touch that button.
Please.
Don't touch it.
Please don't touch it.
Okay.
Stay away.
All right, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
A little diversion there, but so we were going to take a look at some of the class notebooks and staff notebooks that you've helped people develop.
Sure. So we're going to stay in just the online version here. So I've got all my apps. I'm going to go into the OneNote application here. So this is where it's going to keep all my notebooks. And I have a lot. Yours probably won't look like mine. And staying in the online version, there's a desktop version as well. So if you have Office 2013 or Office 2016, you can synchronize your notebooks to exist on your computer. So I don't have to wait for it to load or anything like that. I can just open it up. As you can see, I coach the volleyball team at Medalon, so I've made this one for my co-coaches for us to collaborate on. So I use OneNote for everything.
I hope you do well.
It's great. We just won last night, so 2-0 so far this season. Quick plug for the
For
Medalon volleyball
Medalon.
team. Come out, support your local sports
Go
teams.
Lancers.
Go Lancers. So let's see if I can find an example of a good class notebook. Here's one we made for our summer training we can show. So this is a class notebook we made. Over on the left-hand side, you can see all the teachers we added. So there's some kind of 3 big sections to think about for a class notebook. As I mentioned before, you've got, and please jump in at any time, every student who you add, in this case these are teachers, but you would add students by the RG2. Every student has their own private workspace. So the teacher and the student can see it, but no other students can. So students could turn their work this way. You have the collaboration space, which is where you can get all the teachers in at once working together. So they can all edit this page at the same time. They can answer questions, work on group projects. And then you've got the content library, which is where you would put all the stuff that you want them to see, your students to see, but not necessarily be able to edit. So we've got our training resources here, all of our pages. So these are the kind of sections over here, and these are the individual pages. So within my training resources, and again, going back, this is like a 3-ring binder, right? So if I have a 3-ring binder, I maybe have my section for my math class, for my biology class. Those are just dividers. They're like organizers. That's what these are here. So this is my training resources. That's my organization, right? That's just a folder. But within that, I've got pages. It's like my notes in my 3-ring binder. So each of these is a page. So I've got my Office 365 page. This tells us exactly what Office is. And hey, fun fact, there is a PLN course online for Office 365. So if anyone's watching this who wants to know more, they can go sign up online for the Office 365 class, and they can learn a little bit more about Office 365. But there's all sorts of stuff. You'll notice on some of these we put in Word documents. You can put in printouts of documents. So like I said earlier, if you've already done a bunch of work for your class, you don't have to make it from scratch. You can take your existing work and just put it into Class Notebook. And then once you do that, all your kids can see it. If you add them to your Class Notebook, all your kids will be able to see it. If they miss a day and they're at home, they know where to go to look for it.
So let's talk about that a second. One of the interesting things in my job I keep saying is that we talk a lot about what's coming soon and versus what we have right now.
Yeah.
So we have this right now. This is
Yes.
great. And we have many teachers that are using it. How are they getting their students into, how are they setting up pages right now for their students? So a teacher wants to set up a class notebook. What's involved with getting their students a page?
Okay. Well, Alex may be able to kind of demonstrate. So it's fairly easy. I consider it a painless process. What they would do is go to their app launcher, start page, and they would click on Class Notebook. So Class Notebook is going to be the way or the means in which they actually create a class. And once you get the Class Notebook, there's a wizard, and you decide what it is you want to do. So in this case, they want to create a class notebook for their students. So they just actually click on this particular icon, and they plug in a name. We just call it anything you want, Mr. H.
Probably don't apostrophe.
Hit next, and then it goes through and explains what the class notebook is going to consist of. So the 3 spaces Alex talked about. We hit next, and the first tab that you get to here as far as being able to add permissions is if you have a co-teacher, if you have another teacher that you want to give full permissions to, you can add them there. You can bypass that and do that at another time. We click next, and then this is where we actually add student names. So you can actually type in student names, or you can add student R2D2s. There's a way you can bulk upload, but it will consist of a couple of steps that we can help you out with. You can wait to do that. You don't have to do that right away. So you hit next.
If I could real quick jump in there too, it'll automatically look up their names too. So if you start typing in their names, it'll look it up and identify it like sending an email.
Right. And then you have a chance to actually customize the private section of the student's notebook here. So if you have something where you want handouts, class notes, homework quizzes, you can create that, or you can do that at another time by simply unchecking. If you want to add a particular section, you can do that as well. And so as you can see, this is the process. The process is fairly painless, which is good because more teachers will be apt to try it and use it. Once you're done, It gives you a quick visual, somewhat of a thumbnail of what it looks like from the teacher's perspective, and then how it looks from the student's perspective. Once you're pleased with it, you can simply create the notebook, and the notebook is actually created, and students will actually, once they're at it, or if they're at it, they'll have access to that at that time.
So one of the things that we are working on, so right now they are in the students are there. You can look, enter their name, look them up. If they have their R2D2s, they can do that. R2D2 is their unique username
Right.
for their district domain for Office 365. And then, and by the way, we are also, as a password, students have been using a very specific format, and that we call the S dot. But we are asking students now to go in and change and
Right.
make themselves a unique password that only they know and can find. So one of the things, so right now the teacher would have to get their class list and actually
Right.
type in their names. What we're working on is we're so close to it, is a collaboration
Right.
between Focus, our student information system, and Microsoft. The two of them are working together to make this happen on our behalf so that students, these class notebooks will actually be populated for teachers and taking out that step of actually entering the names. So I know some of our high-end users, so to speak, are going to be anxious to hear about that. They've been hearing about it, but it is actually coming.
Good.
All right, so I kind of took us off. Alex, back to our tour through.
Yeah, and so the first thing I talked about with this is that there's a lot of stuff here. You don't have to know how to use all of it. I don't want to overwhelm people with the Office 365 app launcher, but you'll see a lot of things that people probably have already used before. It's just an online version of it. So if you've used Outlook on your desktop, for example, you've seen mail. That just takes you to your email. It's the same thing as you've seen a million times. I'm not gonna pull it up. I don't know what my email looks like right now. It's probably gross, but that would take you to your email like you've seen. You know, it's just online, so you can access it from home now if you need to. That's how you get your email from now on. Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Those are just like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint on the desktop. They're a little bit different because they're online. So if I'm making a PowerPoint presentation on my computer, on the PowerPoint 2016, the desktop version of it, I have to save it to my computer. Right? I have to save it someplace on there. Everything you do in Office 365, it has to save it someplace that's on the internet because it all exists on the internet. So what they do is they save your files into what's called your OneDrive. So OneDrive, that's this cloud, these clouds right here. OneDrive is cloud storage. You can think of it like if you've used the H drive before, it's like the H drive, but you can access it from anywhere. Another way to think about it, it's like a thumb drive that you can access from any computer. You don't have to carry it around with you, you just have to log in. And it's great because it keeps all your stuff and it's automatically backed up on the cloud, which is just another word for saying it's out there on our servers, on district servers. But what's great about using this is if my computer crashes, like I said, I can be in the middle of typing a sentence in a Word document online, and my computer dies on me. I can go to another computer and it'll be right where I left off.
Wow.
It automatically saves.
How many times has this happened to you?
There's a reason I tell this story, right? It saved me. It saved it before. Another great thing about it is it's great for collaboration, for working with other people. You can create documents on here and share it and work in real time. I can share it with Kevin and literally see where his cursor is as he's typing with his name next to it, so I can see what he's adding. And we can work together on our own computers without having to do the old way of sending emails back and forth.
Right. So we've done a lot of work too with principals on staff notebooks, and I don't know that we're going to have time to really get in. Let's just real quick pull up a staff notebook, because as a former principal, this is one thing that really excited me. We would run into a situation where the master schedule. And so all of a sudden we publish the master schedule and get that out to everybody, and then there's a change in the master schedule, and now we send the new one out, and then there's another change and we send the new one out, and now everybody's confused. Which document is it? So this is a staff notebook for Northeast High School.
This one's Dunedin Highland, actually. This is the first one that popped up.
Okay, good.
I happen to know this is a really well done one. I worked with them on it. This is great. So yeah, you can see they've got their staff added here. If I go into the content library, you can see they've got all their different sections here. So I've got staff notebook section that has a letter from the principal, general information. You can, let's see if I can find policies and procedures, right? It's kind of got all the stuff that you would get in a big packet at the beginning of the year.
And then you'd lose it.
You
You'd wonder
immediately lose, right?
where is it?
Sits on your desk or
Yeah.
kind of gets filed in the bin, if, you know, the important papers bin. But now it's all here and it's searchable, so I could search for whatever it is we need to find in here.
All right. Well, guys, we've talked about a lot of things this morning. If people are interested in learning more, getting more, having you sit with them and help them with this, what do they do?
Well, what they can do is contact Digital Learning. They can either contact us through telephone or they can actually email us. Look up Digital Learning. Contact us, tell us what they need, what they want, and we'll get back with them, find out as much information, and then we'll sit down with them and make it happen.
So let's mention your jobs are referendum funded.
Yes.
And the purpose of referendum is to further technology in our schools. And that's what you're here to do. And so really you're a gift. And
Right.
a lot of what we do is about have to. You guys are about get to.
Yes.
And so they get to have the opportunity to call you and just really get personalized attention, exactly what they need. So.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you for your good work. I know that I get emails from where you've been and they tell me how great you are. So
That's good.
yeah, hear good things. All right. Thank you for joining us today, and we're going to be back throughout the school year and updating you as things progress with technology for our teachers in Pinellas County Schools. We'll see you soon.